tape. Let's grind. The tape. We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunkered down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Found guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby Smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up.
Do anything you want. I ain't got no problem with it. I promise you that shit.
Listen to the words. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off. No, come find me. No, come find me. Listen to the words. Come find me. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off.
I ain't a hard guy to find. I promise you that shit.
Listen to the words. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off.
Jonathan Jimbo said it. He ain't hard to find. I promise you that. This week and generally on road shows, we are hard to find from a time standpoint.
Yeah, not a whole lot of consistency.
Yeah, like need the audience to be adaptive and prepare for sudden change, as is normal in a football game. You know, Pops used to say turnovers, just as big a part of football as, you know, injuries and first downs. It's going to happen, right? Got to have sudden change, got to be ready for sudden change. You guys as an audience have needed to be ready for sudden change this week. We appreciate you for doing so. We are live here from the Lincoln Steakhouse out here in Camelback Mountain, Phoenix, Arizona. I don't think we're quite in Phoenix. Are we? Where are we at? We're in Glendale?
I don't know. We're in Arizona.
So many like pockets of Arizona that they say you got to see. Got to see downtown Phoenix. Got to see Glendale. Got to go over to Scottsdale. Got to do lot going on. Not like one big metropolitan though.
No, not from what
I've noticed.
Yeah.
All right, so we need you folks here in the chat today, as always, with Roadshows to be quality control. I got a lot going on here. It's very scenic out here on the Lincoln Steakhouse, patio. Got a lot to talk about today, Jonathan, not only with college football playoffs and semifinals coming up tomorrow here in Phoenix between Miami and Ole Miss, and then the next day with obviously Indiana and Oregon out there in Atlanta. We will be at both. Tried to get Christian Kirby for today's show. Unfortunately, they're in the middle of media availability right now, or at least he's in the middle of probably parking in Metro Atlanta to go to media availability. Because again, like we talked about last night, for some reason the Peach Bowl doing media availability at 8:30 and 9:30 at night. So there's that.
Which, maybe it's because they're like, oh, we made them show up late last night. We can't call them back for the morning. So maybe we need to give them a day's rest.
You know what I can almost 100% guarantee? I bet this was mutually agreed upon by both of these coaches. I bet they were just like, hey, these are our pockets. This is what we have available. I bet maybe both teams practice in the morning, that kind of thing. Those media availabilities are all contingent upon practice and all that good stuff. So it is what it is. But we got those games going on. But there's other storylines going on in college football we felt necessary to talk about today on the show. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and all that good stuff on, and firing off in the chat. Look, we've already posted twice today. Did the Feinbaum hit, and then posted the prediction for the Indiana-Oregon game. So how this works is YouTube only notifies people twice for each channel every day. A lot of people didn't get notifications today. So I need you to fire off in the chat. I need y'all to be engaged there, and make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, all that good stuff. Thanks for your support on the front end. Let's get to work. The story of today in college football, so says Google Trends, Jonathan, is the Demon Williams story. Obviously, Demon Williams Jr., the star quarterback out there at Washington, I think went for around 4,000 total yards this year. If my memory serves, I think he was about a 3,000-yard passer, 1,000-yard rusher. That caliber of football player, really, really good. Reports were today that he was set to make over $4 million this year with Washington, and had gone as far as to put pen to paper on whatever a deal looks like nowadays, and has now gotten out of that contract, and it looks like he is going to be the next starting quarterback at LSU.
Yeah.
It seems to be the football team that is most heavily involved with the it's poaching.
Yeah.
It's poaching. This player was not in the portal, was not expected to be in the portal, signed a contract. I mean, this has gotten bad. This is going to get ugly. It's like already getting drawn to court. My question is, these are not employees. These are 1099 contractors. That's what they are. So, like, there is no collectively bargained contract that they signed. This is some negotiation based off marketing promises that we will pay you this amount of money in monthly installments moving forward. From my understanding of how these contracts work, this is not some we pay you weekly, you get a pay stub, like we're out here, you got benefits, we're going to put into your retirement. No. That's not how this works. These are 1099 contracted employees that every single month get a deposit into their bank account for their services. And until those services are no longer, they don't get those checks anymore, from my understanding. Now, until we start collectively bargaining these things, like this is what we have. This is what it is. No player is untouchable. No contract is unavoidable, or unvoidable, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very similar situation. If you guys remember, this happened last offseason. I think it was kind of late in the offseason as well. And it involves one of the teams that are involved right now in the college football playoff, I believe, is Xavier Lucas. I know Lucas was the last name, but this was a very similar situation where it had a contract signed, was expected to return. Oh, he got tampered with. Now he's somewhere else. Now, a very similar thing is happening here, but this one obviously a much bigger deal because Demon Williams, a very high-caliber quarterback in college football, Washington expected to have him back on the roster, and now LSU gets in the mix. So much so that Washington's like, we're not even putting your name in the portal. Like, don't expect us to do any of this. Like, we're not going to do any of the paperwork or anything because this is wrong. Like you said, you were coming back here.
I think the thing that people always look at, or at least we thought the Damon Wilson thing was all posturing, right? His lawyer was very, very stern about, you'll see, like, you're going to see us in court. And then Damon Wilson hits the portal again, and like, I don't know how much ground they have in court, do the schools or the players. Like, I don't think there is no, I'm getting you back, you're getting me back. No, like, we are all like, look, I could be wrong. I didn't go to law school, but I don't know if there are long-term, like, hold your feet to the fire 1099 contracts. I don't know if those exist. They're not employees. So, like, we have to go into a collective bargaining, which I've always said is an even bigger nightmare. Like, I have no idea how you get a body of 18 to 22-year-olds, unless you're Pavia, 24-year-olds out here to agree that this is what we all need to be doing. It's not like people say they can do it on the NFL. Yeah, they do it 52 times 32. All right, whatever that is, whatever that math is. We're talking about 105 times 105. That's a total different measure of mass in terms of a union. On top of the fact that we all have differing values, right? Like the quarterbacks in these situations, like the Sorsby kid makes $5 million. Sorsby's backup left tackle is going to make $150,000 next year. Those two guys are not collectively bargaining for anything in the same ballpark.
Right.
So those are a whole nother ball of a yarn to unpull at a later date. You feel for Washington because they're up a creek without a paddle at this point, from a quarterback standpoint, and they were moving forward from a financial standpoint, committed to this player, and now that is no longer. That money gets freed up. Maybe they get into the mix for one of these players we're going to talk about today. I would imagine DJ Lagway might be taking a visit out there sometime soon.
They had
like
someone,
that kind of deal. Somebody's going to be taking a visit to Washington.
someone is already taking a visit to Washington. Bo Pribula. Bo Pribula is expected to take a visit to Washington. So very obvious that Washington is preparing themselves to be without Demon Williams this year. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned it, LSU now getting Demon Williams, and that's been interesting to follow because LSU, you imagine, and everybody knew.
We assume. It's not done. We assume.
Yeah. We assume. Yeah.
Sources over there playing very dumb. Now, that might be because that's just their shtick.
Yeah. But interesting with LSU throughout all of this madness is that you knew that they were going to be very involved in the transfer portal quarterback market. And then word gets out that it looks like they're going to get Brendan Sorsby, and Texas Tech takes that one away. Then everybody kind of assumes, oh, Sam Levitt's going to go there. Sam Levitt kind of still exploring his options, and now maybe Demon Williams might be the guy. Very interesting, like, fall of the dominoes for the Tigers so far of, like, this is where they ultimately landed when it seemed like maybe that wasn't even the market they were testing.
I feel like that's the natural transition here is where does a player like Levitt go? Levitt leaves Arizona State. We presume because he was getting poached for a big program.
Mm-hmm.
That Arizona State report out of there, that's a local beat reporter that was like, no, guys, they kicked this guy off the team.
Yeah.
He was out here playing pickup hoops in the rec and rolled his ankle and cost us a playoff run. Like, we sent his ass packing type deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much of that to be true.
Right.
I think it's probably, as usual, a mix of both worlds is the truth, somewhere in between those two stories. But Levitt goes from, I mean, he's felt like a shoe-in at a lot of these programs.
Yeah.
I mean, we had LSU folks tweeting out the Levitt memes and edits 4 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
When this Demon Williams news drops, they're at an LSU basketball game with Whit Weeks, Sam Levitt, and the Jace Brown kid from Kansas State when this news drops. So now what do you do? Kentucky's already spent money on the Minchie kid. They already gave him a blank check. We're running out of dominoes. Miami's been very, very quiet throughout all this because obviously they're playing for a massive playoff football game, but I'm surprised the agency world hasn't leaked that one out. So whoever the next quarterback is at Miami, they've kept that joint really, really tight. Seems like the landing spot for Levitt might be in Knoxville, Tennessee at this point, which I think is a good system for him.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if you want to try and up your NFL draft stock as much as you possibly can, that is a system that you go to, especially
to rack it up at least.
To rack it up, and also knowing that like this past season, Josh Heupel did a lot of different things, like kind of got away from just being completely wide choice offense. Brought some NFL concepts into the mix with that offense as well. So that's going to give you both a little bit of balance of you're going to have the numbers, people are going to be talking about you, and then also you're going to have the film that backs up, hey, I can do what you're going to ask me to do on Sunday. So that kind of seems like the likely landing spot because we're kind of running out of them.
It seems like as the more chips fall, the further down the domino list a player like DJ Lagway ends up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know where we're going to end up there. That looks like we're taking, trips to Baylor.
Yeah.
We're taking trips to, I don't know. We're going to have to find a place to play.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be very interesting to see where that one is up. Very talented football player. I think he needs to go to a very air raid system, very friendly, one read, half field. Basically what he did in high school. I think that's what we need to go to, and I think he would rack it up in a Baylor system.
Yeah.
Sawyer was great. This kid would be very, very good as well.
Yeah, and very interesting situation with DJ Lagway, too, because Florida State picked up a lot of buzz with him early on, and they were doing the whole thing. Gus Malzahn, oh, I see Cam Newton in you. I think we could do some special things. And then, oh, no, we're not actually going to be taking you. We're going to go in a different direction. And now DJ Lagway, how to feel out the rest of his options. Baylor seems like the most likely landing spot there for him, absolutely.
Yeah, and I agree with the decision from Florida State to go Ashton Daniels and go Chai. You don't need to be spending multi-millions on a quarterback, dude. You're going to run him 14 times a game anyway, so who gives a shit? So I think that's the right decision. Raiola's been extremely quiet.
Yeah, that's weird.
Through this entire process, the agency's been quiet. Everything's been quiet from the Raiola camp. So,
and that's why
that might be a Miami thing
and
there.
that's what I was going to say is that's when I kind of had the epiphany because when we were kind of going through our show notes, we're talking about transfer quarterbacks. Dylan Raiola never even crossed my mind because he just hasn't even been mentioned in the news cycle so far. And then when we were talking about Miami, like, well, who the heck is Miami going to get? Then it was like, oh, Dylan Raiola. Like, that one seems to make the most sense because Miami's been quiet.
Who's Louisville going to get?
That's another great question. I have no idea. I don't know.
Can you run it back with Miller Moss? Does Miller Moss have another year?
I don't know. But, I mean, so That's the other thing is like Dylan Raiola, Miami seems like a good matchup there. I know people were kind of doing the jokes because Ty Simpson is declared now, and it's like, oh, that's Miami's quarterback because that's what they do. And maybe that does end up happening. I don't know. But with how quiet it has been on both sides with Raiola and also Miami, seems like that one might maybe just spark up as soon as the offseason kicks in for them.
Very intrigued by the potential for a Jalen Mbakwe-led offense at Georgia Tech. High school quarterback, just saying. Can't find a position for him. Just give him the rock.
Yeah.
Just snap it to him. They won a state title out there, I'm pretty sure, doing so. So just we'll lob that out there, though. Georgia Tech, another one of these schools. We're playing quarterback musical chairs. Somebody's going to get it pulled out from underneath them.
And you know,
somebody's going to end up at a place that they never thought that they were going to be playing football at.
And it's funny you say that because Dylan Raiola apparently was at Georgia Tech today or is planning a visit to Georgia Tech. I think that's what I saw earlier today on Twitter. Like, you want to talk about a player ending up somewhere you never thought they would. That would be the exact case if Dylan Raiola were to go to Georgia Tech. Not speaking down on Georgia Tech, but for a guy that was committed to Georgia, then goes out to Nebraska, one of the top names in the transfer portal when he announces his decision, and all these schools, these big-time schools that need quarterbacks, to end up at Georgia Tech, a team that feels like they're taking a step back right now. Woo.
Do you think he had any idea that all these other names would be in the mix? It's like when you enter the draft way too early and then all of a sudden you're in a loaded class because underclassmen jumped up with you. Just a thought. I think we do need to transition into the fact that there is a name that, like, I think the first domino of all of them that fell was Simpson. Like, when Ty Simpson declares for the NFL draft, now the whole ball starts rolling and all these people start making decisions, I feel like. Simpson goes to the draft. I'm very I don't know what to think about it, to be honest with you. I think you're getting into a discussion now where the 25 starts in college are very, very important to me. I felt like we saw a football player go through up and down spurts and play his worst football towards the end of a very limited starting career. Mm-hmm. Like, I am very bullish on Ty Simpson, but we do have physical limitations. Like, we're not a first-round body type from a height, weight, speed, throw the ball, like go run a 40. We're not 6'5". We're not 240 pounds. Like, you had to win it with tape, and he's got elite NFL tape, and he's coming from an elite NFL passing system where everything that they do at Alabama happens on a Sunday field. And it happened, Lord knows, under a pressurized pocket that it simulates that of an NFL like game. Mm-hmm. When you're an NFL quarterback, you're getting missiles fired at you all day long. So I don't worry about his ultimate success. I just worry about, like, him getting dinged or not knowing 100% about the prospect because we haven't played enough football. Mm-hmm. We haven't. That's the reality of the situation. But the other reality of the situation is the fact that, like, Dante Moore, if he goes, he'll have the same exact questions. Yep. Mendoza, he's obviously going to the NFL draft. And if we put those three in one room and I had to hyperanalyze the three of them, I might come out of that film room saying, yeah, I'll take 15 from Bama and I'll be okay. Yeah. Like, so that might play into the role that he goes into the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Simpson is obviously going to be kind of this polarizing prospect because you're going to turn on the Georgia tape from the regular season, and it's going to be, good God, take him today. Take him number one overall
just
today.
Give me the third down clips. Don't watch anything else. You'll draft him 1-1.
Yeah, and you're going to fall in love, and then you're going to see the back half of the schedule, and it's going to be like, okay, now I'm not so sure. And so it's going to be a little bit polarizing for him. But, you know, to your point, and I think this is ultimately why he decided to come out, is because really the guys that he's competing against, it's Mendoza and it is Moore. And I think that you're going to get into a conversation of people are going to say, okay, Mendoza's the cleanest prospect out of all of them. That guy's probably going to be the first quarterback off the board. But then you're going to get into a legitimate argument between Dante Moore and Ty Simpson if Dante Moore, like, ultimately chooses to go to the NFL draft.
Yeah. I mean, that's another school, Oregon. I mean, they're playing right now. So you have no idea what their plans are, what they're doing behind closed doors. You'd imagine they're keeping it tight-lipped. But Oregon would be a player in the portal, like, discussion for quarterbacks. And if they get to if he plays his way to a national title and throws for 350 in both games and becomes the projected number one overall pick, Oregon wins the national title. Great. Next year, they're sitting there going, because Novosad's in the portal. Mm-hmm. What do you play the what do you call it? Legacy? The Achilles Smith? Yeah. And Achilles Smith Jr., you play that kid? Probably. I don't know. I don't know what they do. They go poach somebody, probably. Yeah. But it's very interesting. I'm with the chat. I think Moore, based off the way they're moving, Moore may have given them assurances that he might be coming back.
Yeah. And so again, like if that's the case, like if that's also like maybe Ty Simpson got word of that hey, it's probably going to be really you and Mendoza in this class. We need to go. By all means, that's probably the smartest decision he could have possibly made.
It also gets very, very loaded next year. Like Archie's coming out.
I was going to do that thing.
We know Dante's, if he doesn't come out this year, he's coming out next year. Like the class next year is going to be loaded with names.
Yeah.
Like one of these 7 portal quarterbacks we're talking about is going to Mendoza their way into this. Like they're going to go to a place that matches their skill set and they're going to explode.
Yep.
And all of a sudden rocket up draft boards. So we'll see. I mean, a lot of big names at the quarterback position still left to find out where they're going. What do you think about that leaked Sorsby contract?
Yeah. Ooh, man.
You read the article to me this morning from Ross Dellinger, tremendous reporting. He was out here hitting a radio hit a little bit earlier. $3.2 million from LSU, and what reports of it, half of it were just false promises?
Yeah, wait. We're talking about Brennan Sorsby, or we're talking about Demo? You said LSU.
No, the LSU contract that got
that's right.
leaked,
That's right.
or not leaked, but he got a copy of the opening of it and then wrote an article on it. And Sorsby's offer from LSU was $3.2 million. He signed for 5 over at Texas Tech. And wasn't it half of it was like, we're going to get you here. We got to pass 1.7 of this through the clearinghouse. Let's hope we do.
And basically, Ross Dellinger went on to say,
we're screwed.
There's a potential where these players might just become ineligible at this point. Like if like rules are followed and if they're enforced, that could potentially happen. But the fact that got leaked and that got put out in the public,
we know who that came from. There's only two parties involved. Well, 3, the agency. There's 3 parties involved: the agency, the player, the school. Why would the player ever leak that? Why would the agent leak a contract like that? Got big time football playoff games going on. We got them. We got one tomorrow at 6:30 local kick here, right? 8:30 for you fine folks back in what I call God's time zone. Eastern time zone is premier. We all know this. If you like earlier sporting events, stay up late, drink a cup of coffee in the morning like a grown man. Got some great football games. 6:30 tomorrow. Don't know why I went on that tangent. Fiesta Bowl here between Miami and Ole Miss. Here's what we got, boys. As the rain starts to trickle down, don't know if you guys can notice that. Rain and cold follow us. Fiesta Bowl, 3 keys to the win. Ole Miss, Miami. Here's Ole Miss. 1, negate the field tilt at the line of scrimmage. This field, I don't know if you'll feel this on television, it will feel like it's tilted towards the Miami side of the line of scrimmage every single time from a sheer mass standpoint. When these dudes walk on the field, it absolutely tilts. You can feel their mass. They are a huge unit. All right. So you got to negate that just like you did in the Sugar Bowl. You got to figure out ways schematically, whether it be chaos and stunts on the defensive side of the football, whether it be Chambliss being individually excellent or the system getting the ball out of his hands real, really quickly. That's number 1. Number 2, because we're getting the ball out of his hand really quickly, what do we got to do? We got to win the one-on-ones. I fully expect Miami to play man-to-man bumper run coverage in this football game, Jonathan. If they did it to Ohio State, if they did it to Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, you can assume they're going to do it to you. You should also assume you're Ole Miss. Everyone boils down to playing man-to-man against you anyways. That's what they have to do. We talk about that ad nauseum on this network. No, it doesn't get talked about all that much everywhere else, but why are they playing man-to-man? They have to. That's what you have to do against Ole Miss. Miami felt like they could do it against Ohio State. Can they do it against you? If they can, they will win this game. If you win the one-on-ones, though, you will be explosive as you've been all year long. Nobody's really consistently beating them out there except for Georgia for 3 snaps, basically, in that first matchup at home. And number 3, get enough 3rd and longs to steal a possession defensively. I feel like if you park this Miami unit in 3rd and 9, we can bracket Tony. We can take away the primary read. We might get a possession back. I think that's major. For Miami, get number 6 and number 5 on the ground. All right. Get number 6 and number 5 on the ground. That's paramount, right? Got to tackle Chambliss, got to tackle Lacey, and let Tony cook offensively, maintain possession if need be. We're rapid fire here. Oregon, find a way to make them uncomfortable with pace, make them play 75 snaps.
This is getting heavier.
Yeah, this is getting heavier.
I know you guys can't see, but
yeah, got to play with pace, make them one-dimensional offensively. Got to be even better than the first time around on the defensive line. Can't run the football. Moore's got to be make more big-time throws than that guy on the other side. Indiana, handle the quote new plan from Oregon, execute yours. Be ready for a bad day on defense. Thanks for the lights. How about some coverage? Be ready for a bad day on defense because somebody's going to score more than 24 points on you. If they do, we got to play 75, 80 snaps offensively. We don't like doing that. And then my notes are getting watery. Wide receivers versus their DBs. We got to be better at wide receiver than they are at defensive back. That's good because we got 5 NFL guys.
All right, I got a new segment idea before we have to shut this sucker down.
We got to shut this sucker down.
Rainy day segment now. You got to go rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Love you guys. Hit the thumbs up button. I'm out. See you.